In 13 Wham Entertainment this morning, we are talking about a new DVD starring one of the people who made WWE SmackDown on CW16 a big success.
Yeah, it's pro wrestling legend Stone Cold Steve Austin. He stars in The Condemned, a new movie from WWE Films. And Norma Holland had a chance to talk to him this week.
What is the movie about? And first of all, do I call you Mr. Austin? Do I call you Steve? Do I call you Mr. Stone Cold? How should I refer to you?
Just call me Steve.
All right, Steve. What's your movie about? What's The Condemned about?
Basically, it's about 10 prisoners all on death row in various prisons throughout the world, me being one of them. We're purchased out of these prisons and placed on a island in the middle of nowhere where we're forced to fight for survival. Freedom's going to go to the sole survivor. And the TV producer who bought all these prisoners, including myself, is going to broadcast this live over the World Wide Web. So basically, for $49.99, you can log on and watch these people in their fight for survival kill each other.
So this is like a must for wrestling fans everywhere, right?
I think it's a must for action movie fans. It's a great action movie. If you're looking for rocket science or E equals MC squared, you're not going to find that here. But if you just want a good movie that's fun to watch, then that's what you got with The Condemned. And I'm real proud of it. It's my first movie with a major part, and I'm glad that it comes out on DVD, and I think people are really going to enjoy it.
Will the WWE release more films like this? Is this part of a larger group of films that are going to be done like this from the WWE?
Absolutely. I think there's another. I think John Cena's in works for doing another movie. I'm certainly looking for a script to start my second movie with WWE Films. I'm working on some other projects out here in Los Angeles. So I know that WWE Films is their game plan is to learn more about the movie business, to succeed in it, and make good movies that people like to watch.
Now,
a lot of action movies.
Exactly. So action movie fans are going to love this.
More of Norma's talk with Stone Cold Steve Austin is coming up at about 8:40 on CW16. He's going to talk about a local story, the end of his in-the-ring career, which was due to a spinal injury similar to what happened to Buffalo Bill Kevin Everett. In fact, Norma asked him about Kevin Everett, and that interview, again, is coming up in about half an hour. It's definitely some interesting things to say about that.
Just a little bit ago, we had part one of Norma Holland's interview with pro wrestling legend Stone Cold Steve Austin. He was talking about his new DVD, The Condemned.
Norma also talked to him about his pro wrestling career, which ended a few years ago because of a spinal injury, very similar to what Buffalo Bill Kevin Everett is going through.
We're near Buffalo, as I mentioned earlier, and you probably heard, of course, probably know all about Kevin Everett and what happened to him, the Buffalo Bill, with the spinal injury there. I understand you don't wrestle actively anymore because of a spinal injury. How did it happen, and how do you deal with it?
Oh, when I saw the Kevin Everett thing, it really hit close to home because I've been in his shoes. And in 1996, I was wrestling a guy there in New Jersey, and in a botched pile driver attempt, I came crashing down on the top of my head, much the same way Kevin received his blow. And I was a transient quadriplegic for about 90 seconds in front of 20,000 people. We were live on pay-per-view. Somehow I was able to finish the match in a real poor fashion. I was out of wrestling for about 4 months, and then I got back in the ring, and I made it till about the year 2000 when I had to have the C3-4 fused. And then, finally decided to get out. After 15 years of being in the ring, I just about had enough. But, it's a rough sport, and wrestling is a rough business. I certainly wish Kevin all the best, and I really was going to try to get in touch with the guy, but I didn't really know how to go about doing that. But I wish that guy all the best.
This is probably, an obvious answer, but do you miss wrestling? I mean, when you look at the guys in the ring now, you look back, you think, I really, do you wish I could be there? Do you wish I really missed that?
When you first come off the road, it's a deal where you really do miss it, and you kind of have withdrawals because you're used to living your life on the road like a gypsy, and I've always enjoyed being on the road and being around the guys. And then after it gets out of your system and you get used to being at the house again and doing, kind of normal things, I don't miss it. I just have a lot of real fond memories. I still watch the show. I try to watch as much of SmackDown as I can, but I still watch Raw. I watch a lot of the WWE 24/7 stuff with the legends. I like to watch a lot of the older stuff. So I'm still a big fan, and I still love it, and just a lot of memories. Miss it a little bit, but I just have good memories.
I know your fans would love to hear that maybe one day you might want to do it again. Is it possible? Could you, under the right circumstances, get out there in the ring again? Would it ever be possible for you to do that?
You know, under the right circumstances, you know, absolutely. But I don't really think that's going to happen. I've really got all my focus set on, you know, trying to make more movies. You know, I have 2 more pictures with WWE Films. I really want to follow up with that. And I learned so much on The Condemned. I want to take that knowledge and keep learning and keep getting better. I think you get better at anything you do with repetition. And I think I kind of been there and did that with pro wrestling, sports entertainment. I love it, but I don't think I'll probably be in the ring again in a competitive sense. But I will continue to show up, do stuff with the WWE because I'm under contract with those guys for a long time, but only when it makes sense.
Let me ask you a question. You said this is your first film. And here you are, a brand new actor. You're used to entertaining, so you're used to being a performer. Was acting different? You know, was there much difference?
Well, it is different. I mean, I've been in front of cameras for 15 years, but, you know, when you're in a ring in the middle of an arena playing to 20,000 people, night in, night out, you know, you do everything very, very big. And it's kind of like a you know, Broadway in a sense, although, you know, a little bit on the violent side. You know, acting was a lot different. I certainly tried not to be Stone Cold Steve Austin in this movie. And, you know, I was trying to be a guy named Jack Conrad. So I learned a lot. I hired an acting coach. You know, I wasn't necessarily dialogue heavy in this movie, but it was very challenging. And I've got a lot more respect for actors than I had, you know, before I did this movie. And I'm just really looking forward to working more and getting better.
What kind of movies would you like to do in the future? I know, you know, action's your thing. You know, that's what you're known for. But like you said, you know, you're playing a character. Would you like to play other types of characters? Have you even thought about that?
I'd love to do anything that makes good sense, you know, as long as I'm working, you know, with a good project, with good people. You know, I enjoyed Clint Eastwood movies growing up, John Wayne, Charles Bronson, stuff like that. I enjoyed all the Seagal movies and Sly Stallone, but by the same token, I mean, some subtle humor, not full-blown comedy, but stuff like that, you know, some drama. You know, I think, you know, Matt Damon does great movies. I'd like to entertain the thoughts of doing anything, but right now I think kind of doing the action movies, I'm very comfortable doing that.
It's a good way to get in.
I don't think it's too big of a stretch, and as I get more and more experience, I think that's when I'd like to kind of experiment a little bit, but I never want to lose my core fan base and just, I'm here to have fun and keep an open mind at the same time.
It sounds like you are. And real quick, like I said, we're a CW station, CW16 here in Rochester. Do you have any idea or any predictions about this week on the premiere of WWE SmackDown?
No predictions, but I'll certainly be in front of the TV if I'm not. I think I'm out promoting all this week, but if I'm around, I'll be watching it myself.
All right, so you and a legion of other fans. Thank you so much, Steve, for talking with us this morning. We really appreciate you taking the time and look forward to seeing you in The Condemned.
Thank you very much for the time.
And Stone Cold's former friends and enemies are on CW16 every Friday night. The season premiere of SmackDown is this week, but you notice a special time. Friday Night SmackDown's on Saturday. That's at 8 o'clock, and that's because we have Yankees baseball on this Friday.